Pioneer fans, Pioneer JV varsity, Pioneer JV basketball is live and on the air. As it is Pioneer JV men's basketball versus Bedford. As in Bailey in to take the jump ball. On the other side is Miller. As we're getting ready to go, Pioneer won the freshman game at 41-40. As the basketball back in the backcourt, and it's picked up, bringing ahead is Grabowski. There's a shot from three off the rim, down, trying to get it. There's a foul underneath.
Pioneer foul is number 33, Kieran Conley.
Conley picks up his first foul. That is going to put Miller to the line. First shot by Miller is up, rattles around and home. Miller has the first point of the game. 1-0 Bedford. Miller trying to make it 2-0. Bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up, rolls it home. 2-0 Bedford with the lead. Pioneer to inbound as they have it on the far side, bringing it ahead. Moving over was Richardson. Now Sy brings it over half court. Sy feeds it over on the far side to Bailey. Bailey dribbles, spins with it, bounce pass underneath to Conley. Conley puts it up. And bounces off the back of the rim. Going back to try and get to it is Richardson. Out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. Richardson, or side inbound it. That back out on the far side to Richardson. Sy has it over to Bailey. Bailey on the near wing. Bailey puts it into the near corner for Labadou. Over to Sy. Sy. Over on the far side to Bailey. Bailey comes top of the key, hands it off to Sy. Sy coming down the far side of the paint. Sy steps back, puts it up. That off the rim, comes down the far side. Rebound by Miller. Here comes Bedford quickly coming the other direction is Smithson. Saves it, keeps it in. Grabowski has it. There's a shot that off the backboard, picked up. Grabbing it back over here, Smithson. Smithson moves it over onto the far side, trying to come down is Gardy. Gardy puts it up off glass. That grab by Bailey. Here comes Sy for Pioneer. Over half court, 2-0. Bedford with the lead, trying to get it to Bailey. Now coming down the paint. Richardson moves that over to Laberdo gets it back on the near wing to Bailey. Bailey dribbles to his right, now his left. Loses the ball, but gets it back in the near corner. And moved over to Sy on the far wing. Sy puts it into the far corner, trying to work his way around. Back over to Bailey. Bailey puts it up. That one just a little long. Rebound back there, grabbed by Grabowski. Bringing it ahead. That moved over to Miller. Miller puts it up, rattles it home. Miller has 4 points. It's 4-0. Bedford with the lead. Sy has that stolen away. Coming in, dishes off over to the near side to Smithson. Smithson puts it up and in. He has 2 points. That's 6-0. Bedford with the lead. Sy coming down the far sideline, trying to get it over to Conley. That pulled away. Smithson with it, moves it over into the far corner. Brought back. Grabowski with it. Shot and up, and that's a three-pointer for Grabowski. And makes it 9-0. Bedford with the lead. Timeout on the court. We'll take it with them. Yeah, about a little of the MSHAA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
5:41 left to go here in the first. 9-0. Bedford with the lead. Cy brings it up. Cy calling on signals. Gets over half court. Cy dribbles to his right. Bounce pass. That grab. Trying to move it over. Trying to see who that is. I don't have 22 on my roster. That tip back. Racing over to get it. Grabbing it. Holding it in is Richardson. Richardson dishes off the side. Cy on the near wing. Gets it over onto the far wing. Comes top of the key, trying to make his way over. That fed. Cy coming down into the paint. And that ends up being a jump ball. 5:06 left to go. Sido to inbound. Baseline left. 9-0. Bedford with the lead. Ball moved over as that's flipped over by Jones. Now Sido has it just inside the near sideline. Sido trying to make his way to midcourt. Flips it over on the far side. Pioneer with it on the far sideline. Top of the key. Spinning with it. Flips that back over to Jones. Jones into the far corner to Lee, then that's stolen away. Here comes Bedford the other direction. With it is Gardy. Gardy moves it over to Grabowski. Grabowski, top of the key. Gardy flips that back over into the far corner. Coming down and flipped over to Grabowski. Now storming into the paint. That goes off the glass, pulled down by Lee. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer. Flipped over to Sido. Sido puts it up on the far baseline. That just a little too strong. Pulled down by Bedford. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here in the first. 9-0. As that is going to be Shivas who had it. Moved over top of the key by Shivas. Shivas coming down the far side of the paint. That's put up off glass. Shivas goes down to the paint. So whistle blown, or down to the court. Whistle blown.
Pioneer foul is on number 40, Amir Lee.
So Lee picks up his first foul.
Peyton Sheaves.
Chiefs to the line. 9-0. Bedford with the lead. 3:54 left to go here in the first. Chiefs puts the first one up, rattles it home. That is one for him. Makes a 10-point lead, trying to make an 11-point lead. Chiefs has one more. Roberts comes in for Pioneer. That falls off the near side. Lee with it. Lee gets it over on the near side to Sido. Sido skies it all the way over. Pioneer has it on the far baseline. Into the far corner. Roberts with it. Back on the far wing. Underneath into the paint to Lee. Lee puts it up off glass. That rolls off the near side. Lee tracks it down on the near sideline. That's stolen away. Gardy has it. Gardy flips that back over to Shivas. Shivas racing ahead with it. Gets it over. There's a shot by Gardy that comes back. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Pioneer Sido.
Out of bounds. Ball to Bedford.
Bedford's ball as they bring it ahead. Gardy with it. Gardy goes over midcourt. Flips it over on the far side to Shivas. Shivas over on the near side to Miller. Miller. Bounce pass. Over to Smithson. Smithson gets it back on the near wing. Now trying to make his way in. Flipped over to Shivas on the far wing. Down the baseline. Smithson gets underneath the basket. And it gets tied up. And that will be a jump ball with Labordeaux. Possession arrow goes to Pioneer. Roberts to inbound, baseline right, 2:50 left to go, 10-0.
Correction, that will go to Bedford.
So Bedford's ball as they inbound it to Shivas. Shivas has it in the near corner, moves that over to Smithson. Smithson over on the far side to Grabowski. Grabowski on that far wing. Bounce pass back over to Smithson. Smithson dribbles to his right, trying to get down the paint. Dishes it off underneath. That put up and in by Miller. He has 6 points. It's 12-0. Bedford with the lead. Quickly ahead. Field moves it into the far corner. Pioneer over to Lee. Lee gets his way into the paint, puts it up off glass. That off the rim. Comes down, pulled down, racing the other direction is Shivas. Shivas into the paint, dishes it off. Now that's a shot by Grabowski, goes off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Gardy. Gardy flips it back. Now Grabowski, that off the back of the rim again. Pulled down. Gardy with it. There is a whistle and a foul. 2:04 left to go here in this. The first period. Labor. Bedford to inbound, baseline right, and timeout call. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go here in this, the first period. Ball inbounded over to Grabowski. Grabowski to the free throw line. Flips that back over to Smith, now into the far corner. Shivas has it, moves it top of the key over to Gardy. Gardy trying to make his way past, moves it into the far corner for Smith. Now over into the near corner, grabbing it is Spoonmore. Spoonmore trying to get in. There's a shot from straight on. Rebound by Roberts. Roberts moves it over to Field. Field over half court. Field gets it back over to Roberts. Roberts moves it over to DeJesus. Stolen away, coming the other direction as that fired in by Grabowski. Layup up off the glass. He has 5 points, 14 points for Bedford, done for Pioneer. And brought ahead, Field on the far wing. Field over to Robert, top of the key, over on the near wing. Pioneer bounce pass over to Lee. Lee just outside the paint, makes his way into the paint. Lee triple teamed, and that is going to be a foul. That's going to be on Gardy. That is his first foul. 3 on Pioneer, 1 on Bedford. Again, it's 5 fouls in a quarter gets you into shooting. Free throws, whether it's a shooting foul or not. Sai gets it underneath, puts it up, that off the front of the glass, pulled down. As it hit the glass, hit the front of the rim, fell out. That's going to be Bedford's ball with 1 minute, 6 seconds left to go here in the first. So Roberts picks up his first foul. 4th on Pioneer with 1 minute, 6 seconds left to go here in the first. Gardy brings it ahead over half court, 14-0. Bedford with the lead. Moved over on the near wing to Grabowski. Stolen away by Sai. Sai races down into the paint. Sai puts it up with the left hand and in. Sai with his first points of the game. 14-2. Bedford with the lead. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Shivas. Over top of the key is Grabowski. He goes down. That's going to be a foul. So Sai picks up the foul. Bedford inbound. Nope, that will be 5 fouls, so that will be a shooting foul now. With 38.7 seconds left to go, that puts Grabowski to the line. Shooting 2. They don't do 1 and 1 anymore. So there's no bonus, double bonus. Up off the back of the rim, foul off the near side. Grabowski has one more, trying to make it into a 15 points for Bedford. Pioneer down 12. Bedford trying to make it a 13-point lead. Grabowski puts it up, puts it in. Grabowski has 6 points, and it's 15-2. Bedford with the lead. Cy brings it ahead over half court for Pioneer. Cy right on the block. Hayes looks to his left now. Bounce pass over on the far side. Pioneer with it on that far sideline, number 22. Now racing in Roberts. Dishes it off to Lee. Lee puts it up and in. Lee gets his first points of the game. Good points in the paint. 15-4. Bedford with the lead as they bring it ahead is Gardy. Gardy moves it onto the far side for Spoonmore. Spoonmore back over to Shivas on that far wing. Shivas spinning with it. Cy watching him. They have it on the far sideline. Now coming down, Grabowski down the baseline. That put up. And no basket. Shivas puts it up off of the rim. That'll be the end of one. So at the end of one, it is 15-4. Bedford with the lead. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As at the end of one, it is 8 minutes up on the clock. Bedford 15, Pioneer 4. Pioneer with the ball on the near sideline. Bailey to inbound. Just to our right. Bailey has the ball, gets it over to Cy. Cy for Pioneer, over half court. Cy dribbles back on the blockades, picks up his dribble, moves it over on the far side as that was gotten back. Flipped over top of the key to Bailey. Bailey picks up his dribble, moves it over on the far side. And brought back on the near wing. Trying to dish it off underneath his Sido. Sido gets it back on the near wing. Sido over to his left, takes a three-pointer. That hits off the near rim, pulling it off. Cy underneath, drop back shot, wouldn't go. Rebound back there by Miller. Miller gets it over to Gardy. Gardy brings it ahead, being watched by Sido. Gardy over on the near wing. Gardy picks it up. Thought about a bounce pass, now gets it top of the key, moving it over to Smithson. Smithson over on the near wing to Miller. Miller dishes it off, now trying to get the bounce pass underneath the Gardy. Gardy puts it up, puts it in. That's his first points. He has two, 17-4. Bedford with the lead. Cy moves it over to Bailey on the far wing, now into the far corner. I believe that's Karsh with it. Back over on the far wing, over to Sido. Sido comes at the near elbow, moves it into the near corner for Bailey for three. That off the far side of the rim, bounces off, picked up. Here comes Grabowski the other direction for Bedford. Grabowski puts it into the far corner. A little too much mustard on it, goes out of bounds. That will be Pioneer's ball, baseline right. Inbound, bringing it ahead is Cy. Cy gets himself over midcourt. Cy moves it over on the near wing to Sido. Sido works his way around the arc, comes top of the key, flips it over to Bailey. Bailey over onto the far wing. Working his way up underneath. That put up and wouldn't go. Pulled back down. Here comes Bedford the other direction. They have the 17-4 lead. As Smithson gets it over to Shivas. Now that ball into the near corner. Flipping it over into the far corner. Out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. 6:07 left to go here in the second. 17-4. Bedford with the lead. Inbound over to Cy. Pioneer brings it ahead. Cy over half court, over on the near wing. Bailey with it. Bailey flips it back over to Karsh. Karsh moving it onto the near wing to Cy. Cy gets the near elbow, moves it back. Here comes Sido. And off the front of the rim, off the glass, fall down the other direction. Here comes Shivas. Shivas down the far sideline for Bedford. Shivas into the paint. Kicks it off, and that is saved from an over and back. Loose in the paint. picked up and now fired onto the near side of the baseline. There's a shot by Grabowski for three. That one went long, out of bounds, and that will be Pioneers' ball. 5:32 left to go here before halftime. Pioneer to inbound on the far sideline.
Ball to the Pioneers.
Bringing it ahead. Here comes Cy. Cy gets it over onto the near wing for Richardson. Now into the far corner. Top of the key. Cy gets it over on the far wing. Gets a screen over to the free throw line. Cy picks up the dribble. Kicks it back to Bailey. Bailey top of the key. Gets it over to Karsh on the near wing. Karsh dribbles top of the key. Flips it over. Now trying to get it over to Richardson. The ball over to Cy on the near wing. Cy comes down onto the baseline. Moves it back. Pioneer into the paint now, spinning, flips it back over to Richardson. Richardson, top of the key, over to Karsh. Karsh over on the near wing to Cy. Cy gets it over to Bailey on the baseline into the near corner. Now flipped over to Cy on the near wing. Quickly over to Richardson, back top of the key. Pioneer with it. Looking for a place to go, flips it back over to Cy. Quick pressure back there by Smithson. Bounce pass over on the far sideline. Pioneer with it. Karsh, top of the key, looks over to his right. Now trying to dribble down the paint, moves it over to Richardson, back on the far wing. Pioneer down, and that blocked by Bedford. Okay, I lost my camera for a brief moment there. Hopefully that is back, and hopefully we'll be good.
Ball to Bedford.
Bedford with the ball, 3:55 left to go here in the second. Bedford on the far sideline. Working their way over, now flipped back. Racing over with it on the far side. Bedford, bounce pass. Now that kicked over to Gardy. Gardy. Top of the key, Gardy flips that back over on the far wing for Shivas. Into the near corner, Gardy for three. That off of the rim, falls away. Rebound gets it over to Buchanan. Up and in, that is Shivas. He has three. Now it's 19-4, Pioneer down. Ball top of the key, trying to make his way through. Ball, here comes Richardson. Richardson puts it up, that off the back of the rim. Pulled down, now coming the other direction with it. Ball up and pulled down by Richardson. Pioneer quickly the other direction. The ball into the far corner. Into the paint. That up off glass wouldn't go. Pulled down by Conley. Conley in the paint. Conley, triple team, puts it up and puts it in. Conley with his first points of the game. That ball in the far corner. That two-pointer or three-pointer. Spoonmore puts it in. That makes it 22-6. Bedford with the lead. Now back over on the side, has it, bounce pass, moves it over. Richardson gets it back over to Lebedeau. Whistle as Richardson lost his shoe. It makes it awful difficult. Pioneer to inbound. Jones has it on the far sideline. Jones. Inbounds it over to Lebedeau. Flips that over to Jones. Jones moves it over to Karsh. That ball loose, picked up before it can get out of bounds. Now coming on the near wing, racing over Lebedeau. On the baseline, that will be Pioneers' ball. 3:57 left to go before halftime. Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. Jones with it. Jones looking for a place to go with it. Now Jones launches it all the way over. Karsh with it. Karsh takes it over onto the far wing. Karsh down the paint, puts it up that a little too strong, pulled down by Gardy. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Bedford. Gardy has it on the near wing. Down to the baseline. Gardy puts it as Smithson moves it over on the baseline onto the far side. That intercepted by Richardson. Here comes Pioneer. Richardson into the paint. Richardson. Defense came back. That up off the glass, off the rim, quickly the other direction is Smithson. Smithson going to the paint, puts it up, and that is going to be a charge. Smithson will take his first foul. That's the lone foul so far in this second quarter.
Bedford foul number 13.
Jones brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. Jones has it down on the near baseline. Jones, and that is going to be an offensive foul as Jones picks up his first offensive foul.
Foul to the Mules.
That was Conkley with the foul. 56 seconds left to go. 22-6. Bedford with the lead. Bringing it ahead is Gardy. Gardy over on the far baseline. Shot wouldn't go. Rebounded by Pioneer. That kicked out now. Racing ahead with it down the far side is Jones. Jones gets it over to Karsh. Karsh making his way. Bounce pass back to Labordeaux. Now with it. Karsh into the paint. Bounce underneath the Labordeaux. Labordeaux puts it up. That one a little short. As bringing it down is Grabowski. Now racing ahead. Smithson into the near corner. Shivas down the far baseline. That gets up. Smithson for three from the near wing. That one just misses the rim. Goes out of bounds. That will be Pioneer's ball with 11 seconds for 11.4 for some reason. That's tough for me. 11.4 seconds left to go here before halftime. Ball inbounded to Labordeaux. Now bringing ahead is Jones over half court. Launches it over to over into the paint. That put up. Off the rim. Would not go.
Pioneer foul number 23. Liam Blackwell.
So Blackwell picks up his first foul. And ball over, shot by Shivas, and that will be a little short.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is halftime.
Here at halftime, it is 22 for Bedford, 6 for Pioneer. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your second period action. You're watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We have about 1 minute, 10 seconds counting down here at halftime here at Pioneer's main gym, as it is Bedford Junior Varsity taking on Pioneer Junior Varsity of men's basketball, as it is currently 22-6. Bedford with the lead. It was 15-4 at the end of the first quarter, so Pioneer scoring 1 in the second quarter, Bedford scoring 7. Or Pioneer scoring 2, Bedford scoring 7. So a little slower pace in the second. We'll see what happens in the third. We'll have, by the way, the JV game, or the varsity game happening right after this. Coach Ahrens will be joining me as he did last season, so we're excited to have him as a color commentator and all of the wealth of knowledge and experience he brings to the table. We're very, very excited to have him back this season. 20 seconds counting down as the varsity getting some last moment free shooting in, getting themselves warmed up so they can be ready to go. Back out onto the court is Miller, Shivas, would be William Smithson, Garty, and Grabowski for Bedford. So that's the 5 for Bedford. Coming out for Pioneer, it is Karsh, Rink, Lee, Sy, and Bailey out there for Pioneer. Pioneer going left to right here in this second half. 8 minutes up on the clock. As Grabowski to inbound right in front of us. Grabowski gets that back over to Gardy. Gardy in the back court, bringing it ahead for Bedford. Over half court. Gardy down on the far sideline. That's stolen away. Here comes Pioneer quickly ahead, trying to get to Lee. That's stolen away, and that's going to be a travel as Miller able to get it, but he couldn't dribble and ends up committing the travel. Pioneer will inbound baseline left as they are down by 16 points, 22-6 with 7:46 left to go. Sy has it in the far corner. Sy dribbles, puts it into the far sideline for Bailey. Bailey gets it over to Karsh. Karsh just off the top of the key. Karsh coming down the far side of the paint. Karsh stops, kicks it over to Lee. Lee into the free throw line, into the paint. Lee puts it up with the right hand, rattles it home. Lee with 4 points. It's 22-8. Bedford with the lead. Here comes Bedford bringing it ahead. Over half court is Gardy. Gardy being watched by Bailey. Gardy coming down the far side, kicks it off the free throw line. There's a three-pointer by Grabowski, pulled down by Karsh, and out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneer's ball. 7:10 left to go here in the third. 22-8. Bedford with the lead. Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. As Labordo, the inbound. Labordo gets it into Sy. Sy brings it ahead. Sy comes over half court. Sy moves it into the far corner for Rink. Rink coming down the baseline, puts it up. Rink off the front of the rim, wouldn't go. Falls away, and bringing it the other direction is Gardy for Bedford. Gardy, top of the key. Gardy cuts to his left down the far side of the paint. Now puts it on the baseline. There's a three-pointer by Smithson off the glass, pulled down by Labordo, and here comes Pioneer. Sy quickly down the far sideline. Into the far corner to Rink. Rink works his way around. Karsh, top of the key. Karsh dribbles to his right. Karsh hands it off to Sy. Sy works his way, top of the key, now flips it over to Rink on the far sideline. Rink gets a screen from Lee into the far corner. Rink puts up a three-pointer. That off the back of the rim, falls off the front side. Grabowski quickly the other direction for Bedford. Into the paint, moves it back to the free throw line. That is plucked up, heading the other direction. Labordo over to Karsh. Karsh on the near wing. Rink for three. Rink puts it in. Rink with his first points of the game. He has 3. It's 22-11. Bedford with the 11-point lead. That brought ahead is Gardy has it on the far sideline. Gardy bounce pass, trying to get it over to Grabowski. Lee puts his left wing out there, and that ends up as a foul. Lee will have his second foul. That'll be the first foul for either team in this quarter.
Ball's out of bounds to Bedford.
Bedford inbound, baseline left as Smithson Gets it in to Shivas, and that goes a little long. Lee gets the rebound, but that pass stolen away. Lee gets the rebound on that next shot. Here comes Targe for Pioneer. Karsh trying to get it underneath the Laberdo. Now here comes Rink for three. Rink! Oh, it hit the front and the back of the rim. Lee puts it up. That wouldn't go into the far corner. Here comes Gardy. Gardy coming ahead with it for Bedford. Gardy top of the key. Now onto the near elbow. Over to Shivas in the near corner. Being watched by Rink. Shivas down the baseline. Trying to get into the paint. Puts it up. Off the back of the rim, falls off the front and grabbed by Lee. Karsh over to Cy. Cy up the far sideline for Pioneer. Cy calling out signals. Gets it over to Karsh on the near wing with 5:11 left to go here in the third. Karsh spins into Lee, into the paint. That knocked away. Karsh gets it over to Cy. Cy on the far wing puts up a three-pointer off the back of the rim. That pulled down by Laberdo. His shot goes long, and here comes Bedford the other direction as Gardy has it on the far sideline. Gardy makes his way into the paint, dishes it off underneath, and that put in by Miller. Miller has 8 points, and it's 24-11, Bedford with the lead. Karsh on the near sideline, bounce pass over to Cy for Pioneer. Cy quickly into the paint, gets it over to Lee. Lee down the baseline, puts it up and rolls it in. Lee with 6 points. It's 24-13. Pioneer down by 11. Gardy brings it ahead, dishes it off on the far sideline. Now cross-court pass over to Shivas. Shivas puts up for three, and he hits it. That'll be 7 points. Or, excuse me, 6 points for Shivas. Here comes Pioneer quickly the other direction. 27-13. Bedford with the lead. Cy gets it over as Laberdo. Just off of that far wing, bounce pass, trying to move it over. That stolen away. Here comes Smithson. Smithson into the paint, puts it up. Finger roll with the right hand, and he puts it in. Smithson has 4 points, and it's 29-13. Bedford with the lead. Cy moves it over to Rink down the near sideline for Pioneer. Rink over half court, being watched by Smithson. Rink dribbles to his left, down to his right. Rink on this near sideline, coming into the near corner. Rink dishes it off to Lee on the near wing, gets into the free throw line, into the paint. Lee shoots a fadeaway jump shot. Wouldn't go in. Coming the other direction is Shivas for Bedford. Karsh trying to get in, and that will cause a travel. Good defense by Karsh, and that makes it Pioneers ball. 29-13. Bedford with a 16-point lead. 3:20 left to go here in the third. Cy has it just inside of half court. Cy comes top of the key, gets it over on the near wing. Over to Rink. Rink dribbles to his right. Rink now dishes it off on the far wing for Karsh. Karsh for three. That off the back, the front of the rim wouldn't go. Lee tried to get the rebound and pulled down by Miller. And here comes Bedford. Gardy comes over half court. Gardy dribbles to his left. Now tries to get into the paint. Puts it up with the right hand and in. As Gardy has 4 points. And it's 31-13. Quickly side the other direction. He gets stripped as he's in the paint. And they get over that put up and a block by Karsh. Whistle blown as Karsh blocking Shivas. As Karsh picks up his first foul. It's 2 for Pioneer, none for Bedford in this corner.
55.
Chiefs. Sheaves at the line, dribbles, eyes the rim, puts it up, and rattles home. Sheaves with 7 points for Bedford. 2:43 left to go here in the third, trying to make it an even 20-point lead. Sheaves with one more shot. Making sure everyone has their uniforms up and good. No one needs to lose a pair of shorts in mid-play. Sheaves eyes the rim, bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Sheaves has 8 points, and now it's 33-13. Pioneer had gotten it down to an 11-point lead, and now it's ballooned back up to 20. As on the far sideline, Saito with it. Saito gets a screen from Lee, trying to dish it off to Lee. That pulled away by Sheaves. Sheaves the other direction. Moves that over to Buchanan. Now there's a chop from the far elbow. That wouldn't fall for Gardy. Now coming the other direction. Bounce pass over to Karsh. Karsh down the baseline, puts it up and puts it in. Karsh with his first points of the game. That makes it 33-15.
Timeout called by Bedford, 30 seconds.
Bedford calls a timeout. They want to talk things over. Let's play a little push on, and we will be right back with your remaining 2 minutes, 13 seconds of the third. 2:13 left to go here in the third. It is 33-15.
Ball goes to Bedford.
As it is a 18-point lead for the Bedford Kicking Mules. As Grabowski inbounds it, coming up the far side is Gardy. That is going to be a whistle.
Fouls on Pioneer, number 22, Brandon Brink.
Brink picks up his first foul. That is the third foul in this quarter. 2 more, and Bedford will be shooting. Miller hands it off to Gardy. Gardy gets over half court for Bedford. Gardy stops, bounce pass over to Miller. Miller on the far wing. Miller being watched by Karsh. Gets it top of the key now, moves it over to Buchanan. At right underneath. That goes out the baseline. That will be inbounding, that's Spoonmore to inbound for Bedford. 1 minute, 51 seconds left to go here in the third. Spoonmore skies it. Now racing in, Grabowski into the paint, floats it up, that off the front of the rim, coming back the other direction. Here comes Pioneers. They get it to Bailey, and then just a little far for him. He couldn't control and went out the far baseline. Bedford with the ball. They'll inbound baseline right with 142 left to go here in the third. And stolen away. Pioneer puts it up and in. Saito has his first points of the game. And inbound, Saito knocks it out on the near wing. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go here in the third, 33-17. Bedford with the lead. Gardy brings it ahead for Bedford. That knocked off of a shoe collision with Saito down on the court, and Saito picks up the foul. That is the fourth foul for Pioneer in this period. Ball back, picking it up, coming the other way into the near corner, trying to work his way in. That flipped back over. Bedford underneath. Now into the near corner. That fired up by Spoonmore. So Spoonmore has 6 points, or 5 points, excuse me. As Bailey gets it over into the far corner, dishes it off to Rink. Rink picks it up. Rink trying to make his way on that far sideline. Now into the paint. That put up. Rattles around and home for Saito. Saito has 4, and it's 36-19. Bedford with the lead, bringing it ahead. Here comes Miller. Miller dishes it off into the near corner. Gardy with the shot. That one wide. Out towards the middle. Didn't hit iron. And that will be Pioneers' ball with 32.8 seconds left to go here in the third. Spoonmore to inbound baseline left. Pioneer looking for a big comeback here. Spoonmore gets it into the far corner for Gardy. Gardy trying to get it on the far baseline back. Now racing in, Gardy into the paint, to the free throw line to Miller. Miller puts it up and in. That is 10 points for Miller, 38-19. Pioneer down to Bedford. Now Karsh into the paint. Karsh puts it up off the back of the rim. That goes out. And that will be a whistle. Out of bounds. Pioneer ball. Saito to inbound baseline right. Saito gets it over to Bailey. Bailey for three. Oh, that hits the rim, the glass, and falls away. Coming ahead the other direction. Miller gets it over to Gardy into the far corner. Miller trying to work his way around. There's the whistle that put up, and I believe that was after the shot. So end of the third. It is Bedford 38 and Pioneer 19, and we will be right back with your fourth quarter action. As here at the end of the third, it is 38-19. Bedford with the lead. As one more quarter for Pioneer to try and make a big comeback. Taking a look at, we'll have the varsity game right after this, as Pioneer is 2-0 on the season for varsity. I believe looking at it, Bedford is 0-2 for varsity. We'll see what that equates to. Big SEC red matchup between these squads.
White ball, your ball. Ball goes to the Pioneers.
As Jones to inbound to our right. Jones gets that into Saito. Saito calling out signals. Saito being watched over there by Grabowski. Saito moves it over to Bailey on the far wing. Miller watching him. Bailey spins with it. Bailey puts it into the far corner. That tipped. Knocked away by LaPointe. Now here comes Bedford coming the other direction. Coming down, that tipped away from Smithson. Smithson gets over half court for Bedford. Smithson into the paint, dishes it off to Miller. Miller trying to put it up, that off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Conley. Pioneer with the ball. 7:25 left to go. The ball in along the far sideline. Jones coming down the far baseline with it. Picked up his dribble, needs a little help as he will dish that off all the way back to Saito. Saito just inside the far sideline. Saito races into the paint, puts up a finger roll, rolls all the way around the rim, then off the near side. Unlucky bounce. LaPointe gets the rebound quickly ahead. Spoonmore, bounce pass underneath. That put up and in by Miller. Miller has 12 points. That's 40-19. Bedford with their highest lead of 21 points. The ball in along the near wing. Bailey steps back, shoots the jump shot. That off the back of the rim, pulled down by LaPointe. Here comes Bedford the other direction with 6:37 left to go. As that brought ahead by Grabowski. Grabowski dishes it off. As Buchanan trying to race over, that dish back to LaPointe. LaPointe for three, and LaPointe hits it. LaPointe with his first points of the game. He has three. It's 43-19 with 6:18 left to go. Saito has it for Pioneer as he flips that over on the far side to Jones. Jones over on the near wing to Richardson. Richardson gets the free throw line, moves it back over to Bailey into the near corner for Jones. Jones, a long two-pointer. That bounced right off the front of the rim, pulled down. Here comes Bedford the other direction, racing ahead with it. Grabowski dishes it off into the far corner for LaPointe for three. Bounces off both sides of the rim, pulled down by Richardson. Quickly ahead to Bailey in the near corner for Pioneer. That move back over to Saito right in front of Coach DeWolf. Now Saito for three. That rattles its way home. Saito has 7 points, and it's 43-22. Bedford with the lead, brought ahead by Spoonmore. Spoonmore bounces it over to Miller. Miller dishes it off to Grabowski. Grabowski bounce pass over onto the near wing for Smithson. Smithson being watched by Saito. Smithson down to the baseline, moves it over into the far corner. Trying to get it over to Spoonmore. He can't quite get to it. 43-22 is the Bedford lead. 5:19 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer to inbound as Jones gets it over to Cy. Cy brings it ahead. Cy over half court. Cy into the far corner for Richardson. Down the baseline. Richardson stops, puts it up. That off the side of the rim. Wouldn't go. Was out of bounds. That will be Pioneers ball. Side inbound baseline right with 5:08 left to go. Down 21 points. Cy trying to get it in to Blackwell. That knocked right back out of bounds. Cy will inbound again, baseline right. Cy arcs it over. Jones moves it top of the key over to Bailey. Bailey at the far elbow off the Cy. Now on the near wing. Jones with it. Jones has it popped up. Smithson gets it for Bedford, heading the other direction. Smithson with 4:55 left to go. And moved over to Gardy into the near corner. Gardy trying to get down the baseline. Puts it in the paint to Miller, and a whistle and a foul.
Minor fouls, number 3.
So that's going to be a foul on Jones. It was in the act of shooting, so Miller goes to the line to shoot 2. That is the first foul of this fourth, with 4:48 left to go. Miller bends the knees, puts it up off the back of the rim. Another one, Miller puts it up, and that one goes in. Miller with 13 points, splitting the pair, 44-22. 22-point lead for Bedford. Cy has it in the front court. Cy gets a screen from Blackwell, gets it over to Bailey on the far sideline. Bailey comes top of the key. Now Bailey picks up the dribble, passes it off to Jones right back behind him. Jones on the near wing into the near corner for Bailey. Bailey into the near elbow. Bailey picked up his dribble, trying to dish it off underneath that. Put up and in by Richardson, racing down the baseline. And it's 44-24, Bedford's lead. They get it ahead to Miller coming down the near sideline. Bedford does. Bedford bounce pass into the paint up to LaPointe. LaPointe puts it up and in. He has 5 points, 4 minutes left to go here. Richardson on the near wing for Pioneer. Cy moves it over. 46-24 is our score. As Blackwell has it top of the key, moves it back over to Richardson into the near corner for Bailey. Bailey down the baseline, puts it up, but they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds. Out of bounds over to Bedford. 3:49 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer down by 22. Bedford has it underneath. Jones trying to get the jump ball. And Jones will get it. Possession arrow points to Bedford as they'll inbound baseline right. Spoonmore inbounds, gets it to LaPointe for Bedford. And moved over. Is grabbed by Buchanan. Pass trying to get it over to LaPointe. That goes out the near sideline. Pioneer will inbound on the near sideline in the near corner. 3:41 left to go. 46-24, Bedford with the lead. Richardson on the far sideline into the far corner for Jones. Jones trying to bounce past that, knocked away by Buchanan. Coming quickly the other direction is Miller. Miller has that tipped away. Good job by Jones for Pioneer. Jones puts it up off glass. A little too strong. Pulled down by Bedford. Here coming the other direction. Spoonmore has it for Bedford over midcourt. Bounce pass underneath. That rolled up and in by Gardy. He has 6 points. That's 48-24. 22-point lead as Bedford has Pioneer tripled up. Richardson down the baseline for Pioneer. Over into the far corner for Bailey for 3. That off the front of the rim falls off, and that will go out of bounds. Pioneer's ball, I believe, as they were able to knock it off of a Bedford player. 2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go between Pioneer men's JV basketball and Bedford JV basketball. We will have Pioneer varsity coming up next. Into the near corner, Richardson to the near elbow. There's a three-pointer by side that goes off just to the far side. Grazed the rim. Out of bounds over to Bedford with 2:48 left to go here in the fourth. Bedford 48, Pioneer 24. about probably 15-minute break between the two games as that quickly over to Buchanan. Buchanan gets it to LaPointe underneath. LaPointe puts it up off glass and puts it in. He has 7 points. It's 50-24. Pioneer quickly ahead. Jones into the paint, puts it up. There is a whistle as that one goes off the back of the rim, then falls away. Jones to the line. Did not hear who the foul was on. As there is an injured player, LaPointe down on the near to the left. He comes off, hobbling. We hope he's all right. We don't want to see any of these young gentlemen injured. Appreciate all the energy and effort and skill they put into this game. We just don't want to see any of them banged up. So Spoonmore takes the foul. That's his first. First is up and good for Jones. That's his first point of the game. Jones. One more shot coming. Down to a 25-point lead. Jones trying to cut it to a 24-point lead. Pioneer just trying to make some positive things happen that they can build on upon the next game. That off the back of the rim for Jones. Now Smithson has it on the far sideline. Jones dives to the ground trying to get it. Good hustle points for Pioneer, but Bedford able to bring it away. Here comes Gardy. Gardy on the far wing. Dribbles all the way back out just inside of midcourt. Bedford with the ball and the 50-25-point lead. Moved over on the far wing as that's grabbed by Smith. Now three-pointer from the near wing by Buchanan. That falls away, but rebound. Here's another three-pointer from straight on by Smith. And Smith puts it in. That's his first points of the game. 1 minute, 56 seconds left to go. Pioneer with the ball. Bedford with the 53-25 lead. Trying to get it underneath to Conley. Conley gets the pass, but a whistle blown underneath. There's going to be a foul. Miller picks up his first foul. That's the second on Bedford. That ball into the far corner. 3-point shot by Roberts. Wouldn't go. Bedford with the rebound. Popped up high. Gardy gets it back. Gardy working against Jones. Gardy comes top of the key. Gardy steps back. 1 minute, 33 seconds left to go. Gardy flips it underneath. That put up by Miller. As Miller now has 15 points. Quickly ahead to Pioneer. Up and in for Labordeaux. That's his first points of the game. Coming the other direction, here comes Bedford as Richardson trying to move it over underneath the Miller. Miller gets it back to Smithson. 3-point shot straight on. Wouldn't go. Roberts with the rebound. 1 minute, 2 seconds left. Pioneer has the ball. Jones brings it over half court. Jones into the paint. Stops. Fires it up. Then off the rim. Falls away to the far side. Smithson with the ball. Here comes Gardy for Bedford. Gardy with the 55-27 lead. Gardy over half court. Gardy in the far corner. That flipped back over, and there's a whistle. 34.6 seconds left to go. Gardy gets his foul, his second foul. That is an offensive foul. Pioneer with the ball with 34.6 seconds left to go. Bedford 55, Pioneer 27. Over half court, Fields has it. Field. Top of the key. Field dribbles to his right now. Double team, triple team. That pulled away by Bedford. 25 seconds left to go. Bedford launches it down the court. Now gets it over to Buchanan. Buchanan has it knocked away by Jones, but gets it back. Moves it over to Smithson. Smithson comes top of the key. Launches it over to Spoonmore on the near wing. Spoonmore lofts it over. That tipped away. Roberts trying to get to it. Roberts into the paint. Puts it up for Pioneer. Oh, that rolls off the near side of the rim. There is going to be a foul.
Foul is on number 13 for Bedford.
Foul is on Smithson. It is his second foul. 5.2 seconds left to go. Roberts with 2 shots. Trying to get it down to a 27-point lead.
That is Wesley
First one
Roberts.
is not good. Kind of started to go down and pop right back out. Rimmed itself out. Roberts with the second attempt to get it down to a 27-point lead. That up and in. Excellent job by Roberts. That's his first point of the game. 2 seconds left, 1 second left, and that will do it. As Bedford with the win, they win 55 to 28. So Bedford with a big win here. We will have the varsity team next as they will take on the Bedford varsity. Huge, again, SEC Red matchup. My name is Mark Wiseman. Avampartha has been our camera person. And we will be right back with your varsity's game.